States. They've lifted the ban on electronic devices in flights from Abu Dhabi. Etihad Airways says passengers can now carry laptops and tablets on their flights to the United States. Tracy Alloway, she joins us with more on the story. So Tracy, how did this come about, given that the ban on electronics just came through?
Yeah, well, you'll remember, Youssef, when this ban was implemented back in March, there was a lot of surprise that Abu Dhabi was actually included on the list. And that's because Abu Dhabi, for the past 3 years, has had a U.S. pre-clearance facility. What that means is there are actual U.S. customs officials in Abu Dhabi airport who implement the sort of same security procedures that you would get in the U.S. So lots of people were surprised when Abu Dhabi was included. In fact, there was even some speculation that this amounted to a backdoor protectionist measure for U.S. airlines, given some of the controversy around the state-owned carriers in the UAE. Now, since then, we've had some additional intelligence about some of the intel behind the security threat and the laptop ban. You'll remember that Donald Trump supposedly said it came from a tip from Israel. So it's unlikely that this was just a protectionist measure. But to some extent, it was surprising in the first place that Abu Dhabi was included.
So, Tracy, does this give Etihad then an edge over some other Gulf carriers?
Yeah, well, the new Etihad CEO certainly seems to think so. Peter Baumgartner is quoted in some of the local press today saying that this will give them a competitive edge and they expect a potential passenger boost. That makes some sense. Now, the big question is whether or not you see some other hubs in the Middle East maybe begin to go after similar U.S. pre-clearance. At the moment, Abu Dhabi is the only one in the entire region that has this. In fact, it's one of only 6 countries that has it. But remember, getting pre-clearance can be mired in political controversy, particularly in the U.S. Back in 2014, when these discussions with Abu Dhabi were first going on, there was actually an effort made by a Republican congressman to put a stop to it. He wanted to protect some other airlines, saying that the pre-clearance gave Abu Dhabi an unfair advantage over its competitors, given that they were the only one at Abu Dhabi airport actually flying to the U.S. Angie?